Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, Saturday night, March 28th, 11 p.m. Mountain Time, 2020, with the coronavirus update. Total confirmed cases worldwide, 664,608. Total deaths, 30,000. Now, to speak in real terms, the actual number of cases, not confirmed, is probably 10 million. Total deaths, 50,000. That's just my opinion. But I'm kind of sick of all the fear mongers. I've been in a tizzy all day, following the news, breaking down the situation. The amount of disinformation on the internet from channels that I used to like is disgusting. And Trump backs away from New York quarantine because apparently people told him that it's illegal and impossible. Now, if I could tell you what Cuomo thought this morning, if you saw that, like he didn't even want to think about it. He's like, no, the entire city's going to break down if there's a quarantine. Do you know that will cause looting and mass chaos? So, thankfully, Trump backs away from the quarantine nonsense. But de Blasio is threatening fines for social distance violators. And I agree with that because I think you should all be heeding the warnings as the numbers increase. Now, this is not a Spanish flu type situation because we would already be at millions confirmed and hundreds of thousands of deaths at this point. But this is certainly a mild pandemic. So those that think this is fraudulent, until it affects one of your loved ones, young or old, well, I think that in the best case scenario, you should heed the warnings, and certainly not coming from that office. Now, de Blasio and other major cities where the people aren't heeding warnings of sheltering in place and they're just going to do whatever they want because they're off work. Well, I think things will tighten up in those cities. Now, Florida, coronavirus cases past 4,000. And this is because of all the from New York City flocking there, spreading the disease. I mean, how stupid are you? Because once you get there and you're positive, you're now there and you know what an asshole you are. Now let's talk about the World Health Organization and their chief and the questionable past that comes into focus. And let's just break this down for you because this is going to be a long podcast. The head of the World Health Organization, in charge of making life or death decisions on a grand scale, has been accused of covering up cholera epidemics, supporting a terrorist organization, and inflating his resume to claim he has conquered malaria and even HIV. And this is Tedros. Now, the Ethiopian official who was elected to lead the World Health Organization in 2017 has been accused of cozying up to countries like China that have pledged millions of dollars to the agency. This is a communist country pledging millions of dollars to the World Health Organization. And we're supposed to believe in their protocols. Now, last week, Tedros applauded Xi Jinping for his efforts to contain and control the novel coronavirus. And today, we're getting news from the inside that the numbers are lies, that there are actually tens of thousands of more dead people than that are on the official numbers chart. And for the first time, China has reported no domestic COVID-19 cases for a long period. But then we're getting information that asymptomatic positive COVID-19 tests that are genetic are not included in the positive numbers. So it's a shit show, folks. God knows how many people we infected. New rules aim to get exposed passengers home. Do you know there's like dozens of cruise ships where people got on cruises during this pandemic, and I hope they all get infected because this is the dumbest decision any human could ever make. And if you decided to get on a cruise in the middle of a pandemic, or an airplane, well, you deserve what you get, period. 4 people died in a Zadam cruise ship after it was turned away from Chile. Rightfully so. The United States is easing protocols to help speed cruise passengers home. Now, the people that are on board this that are asking for our sympathy can totally suck it. I will not give people sympathy that decided to board a cruise ship after they watched other cruise ships get fatally infected by a disease passing through the ventilation. So days after a harrowing journey to escape a transatlantic cruise where 2 passengers came down with the fatal disease, Jim Nevis can suck it back in his home in Arizona, where he's now spreading the disease in our country. This is the egotistical nature of schmucks around the world not heeding the warnings. Now, a 27-year-old Coloradan speaks about how difficult this disease is, and I'll leave you links below. She was actually working in a clinic for rich people, of all things. Now, Bozeman shoppers stock up before Montana stays at home order begins. And guys that are fearmongering on the internet about these lockdowns and stay at home orders, in most areas, if you don't live in a major city, we can go around and do everything we always do. It's your fault that you're in those major cities. People have been warning for decades about what will happen if the lights go out, a solar flare, a pandemic. There's any number of things that can happen. If you're in a major city and it happens and you don't have a bug out plan, that's on you. I mean, you had your whole life to bone up on this. Hello. And the fear buying just hit Bozeman. Can you imagine that? And they're stocking up before they have to stay at home because they're going to stay at home, just like people here are staying at home. Now, here's some bad news. And we're going to cover that. There's more bad news coming. A woman with lupus said her healthcare provider is stopping her chloroquine prescription and thanked her for her sacrifice. This is disgusting, and you have to read this to believe it. Due to a current COVID-19 pandemic, there is a worldwide shortage of hydrochloroquine. We are therefore conserving the current supply for those who are critically ill. Now, didn't we just hear a few days ago that this is a nonsense cure and no one's using it? We're going to cover more of this oxymoron as we go forward. So we're getting completely opposing, diametrically opposed ideas coming from the media. Chloroquine kills people. Chloroquine is helping people. And this is coming now from this pharmaceutical supplier that we can no longer give you your prescription. We're working very hard every day, doing everything we can to find ways to replenish the medication as soon as possible. Apparently, everyone's using it. During this time, you should continue to take the remaining pills you have on schedule unless otherwise instructed by your prescribing physician. Please do not contact your physician about an exception process to get a refill. You're fluxed here, as prescriptions will not be filled even when your physician writes a note. Hydroxychloroquine does build up a level in the system and stays in the body for 40 days. So you should be okay. Your sacrifice may actually save lives. We appreciate your understanding, and you will be notified in any changes in the policy as they happen. We hope this will be a short-term situation. Can you believe this? A woman with lupus that is preventing lupus from killing her can no longer get her medication because the mainstream says hydroxychloroquine will kill you, but the medical industry needs all of it. This is crazy. It gets crazier. Teenager turned away from urgent care center because they didn't have insurance, died after testing positive for COVID-19. And the family was not even aware until well after the fact. Is that sickening? A teenage boy who tested positive for COVID-19 died in Lancaster, California after being denied service at an urgent care center because he did not have health insurance. while the county health department walked back its initial claims that he died from COVID-19. His family questions why they weren't informed he tested positive. Now, a game changer, according to the FDA, they're going to authorize Abbott Labs for a portable 5-minute coronavirus test size of a toaster that will be able to test millions of people sometime next week. Haven't they been claiming this miracle test for months? I think it's part of the plan. Now, coronavirus in Illinois update, 13 new deaths linked to COVID-19, including an infant. So, those are the facts. As the numbers rise and people continue to walk around like nothing's happening, the EPA has drastically relaxed rules for polluters because of the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, what does this have to do with a pandemic? Is anyone's guess, but this is the dystopian world that you live. We've been shoving it down your throat for 3 years now. Now, in India, people are actually on quarantine. They can't come out of their house for 3 weeks. And most of these people don't even have 1 day's worth of food. This is the world you're living in. Millions of people are going to die on purpose because of political protocols, not because of lack of food, just because of assholes. And the coronavirus wasn't made in a lab. I'm now about 85% on this. Read the paper. There are 8 strains of the virus that are circulating the globe according to the US, and 40 strains according to Iceland. But the good news is that there is no good news and that nobody knows what is going on. And I'm going to give you a good example. Stacks of urns in Wuhan, tens of thousands of them, do not compute to 3,000 deaths. Period. Now, ibuprofen. A lot of people think that it makes you die. I do. And if you want to know about what we know about COVID-19 and ibuprofen, I'll leave you links to these articles. There are links to papers where you can get information on how many people around the world think that ibuprofen and NSAIDs will cause adverse reactions if you get this disease. I believe it. And the World Health Organization believed it. And they backed calls to avoid ibuprofen for coronavirus on March 21st. That's 7 days ago. And now, on the 17th of March, the WHO doesn't recommend avoiding ibuprofen. So should you avoid ibuprofen or should you take ibuprofen? The World Health Organization thinks you should do both. Now, what if the way we perceive a problem is already part of the problem? What if the way we were brought up and taught and brainwashed about viruses and vaccines and the nature of the disease is part of the problem? What if that's true? What if we feel free because we lack the very language to articulate our unfreedom? If we're born into indentured servitude or slavery and we think we're free, how could we ever know we're slaves? The World Health Organization backs calls to avoid ibuprofen. The World Health Organization does not recommend avoiding ibuprofen, all in the same week. What if we feel free because we lack the very language to articulate our unfreedom? Well, I know I don't want to die in the process. So, in the meantime, I'm rethinking my position on this planet.
Thank you to Chris Franklin for these lyrics. The world has caught a virus, so I've written you a poem. We need your help to cure it, so stay the fuck at home. And if you have got 12 kids or you're living on your own, lock it down and isolate and stay the fuck at home. If you think you're not at risk here, you're living in a dome. It spreads faster than a hooker's leg, so stay the fuck at home. I need the gym, I need the beach, I hear you bitch and moan. You need to grow a brain cell and stay the fuck at home. But I feel fine, I don't feel sick. I'll go out on my own. How thick are you selfish prick? Please just stay the fuck at home. From LA through to Berlin, from Wuhan through to Rome, there's people dying every day, so stay the fuck at home. If you need to contact family, use Facebook, Skype, or phone. We've got the fucking internet, so stay the fuck at home. The only way to slow it down is isolate, not roam. Please help the world get back on track and stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home. Don't you be a fucking dick. Stay the fuck at home. Stay the fuck at home.